Marissa with the Umbrian Sewist. Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be a super quick Friday Sews. For anyone who doesn't know, Friday Sews was started by Jen in Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and it's just a lovely hashtag to keep us vloggers regular with our videos, or to try. I am on for a quick video today because this afternoon I'm leaving to go to the airport for a lovely long weekend in Morocco, in the city of Fez. Now, I've been to Morocco several times and I absolutely love it, but I've never been to Fez. And we found some crazy cheap flights on Ryanair, 55 euros round trip. And then we found a lovely hotel, which gets amazing reviews. It's not fancy, but it looks really nice. And it's $30 or 30 euros a night, bed and breakfast for 3 of us. Seems suspect, but anyway, so who could say no to that? I am appropriately wearing a camel t-shirt because I thought that, you know, I'm going to the land of camels. And this is the Jessie Tee by True Bias, which is a free pattern, which I absolutely love. I think I've made probably at least 10 or 15, and there are many more that I will make. So this week, I finished one item and I'm probably 50 to 60%, no, probably 60, 70% done with another. So the item that I finished this week is this McCall's pattern, and I made this version B. I didn't put these little drawstrings, which I had intended to. Where are they? Right there, that are on A. So they kind of nip in the waist because I just couldn't be bothered waiting because I would have had to order. I think it's like an elasticy cord and then the little stoppers, and I just didn't have those available. This pattern I bought when I was in the US quite a while ago. And it reminds me why I don't really like Big 5 patterns. Now, number one, I would consider myself an intermediate sewist because I've been sewing for a long time. I definitely know how to sew, and when I read good instructions, I know exactly what to do. Now, that's the key, good instructions. This pattern, our Big 5 patterns, the instructions are so minimal. But not only that, I always find like the finish isn't as nice. But it could be my inability to read the instructions. So for example, inside this sort of placket-y bit, so you've got this, not placket, maybe that's the wrong word, but you've got this. Actually, you know, let me put it on. Maybe that would be helpful. It's very lovely, by the way. I am happy with it. I'm just getting fussy. So you've got this section here, which is like a front yoke. And inside, you've got this, it sort of flaps down. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Now, it's just all raw. So I bound it, but it still doesn't look good. There's gotta be a better way. I absolutely love it. The sleeves are oddly loose. The cuffs are oddly loose. So it's kind of like annoying, but it's cozy. I put on some lovely sparkly buttons, which you can see, which I bought when I was in the US one of the trips last few years. So I've got the buttons here, buttons all the way up, which I would never button all the way up. And yeah, I really, really like it. So yeah, nice length. This fabric is 100% cotton. It was crazy cheap, actually, and they still have it. It's from Ride's Textiles. And they have it, I think, in like a gray colorway, but it's just lovely. It's like I said, 100% cotton. I think it was 4 euros a meter, which is crazy cheap. And so yes, I'm very pleased with it, but I feel like the finish could be better. I feel like some of the Big 5 patterns don't think about that. And I had that recent experience. I'm trying to think of one other item I made and had a recent experience of that. So anyway, I got that finished. I'm going to enjoy wearing it. I've already worn it this week. And whew, that's bright sun. So the next item, give me one moment. I'm going to close. Okay, that's as good as it's going to get. I've got some light here, but I can't reach higher to close the blind. Anyway, I am in a bit of a rush because I have to work today and then have to finish packing and then have to go. So the next item that I started was Tilling the Buttons Lotta. Now this was my first time making this. I have had this pattern for quite a while. And I thought it would be a lovely one to make with a woven fabric. And I wanted to pick one of the ones that I recently got in Sri Lanka, which was this one. So this beautiful sort of blue with the daisies. And I decided, so from a sizing perspective, you know, you're never 100% sure, are you? So what I think was important on this is really the bust measurement. So I made an 8 and the bust is 44. Now I am a 44. However, I do have like broader shoulders, bigger arms, you know, all that fun stuff. And really there's only 1.5 inches of, no, sorry. There are 3 inches of ease. Now the thing that throws me about this pattern is because it's for wovens and knits, I would have thought for a knit, a few inches of ease is fine, but for a woven, I'm not sure. Anyway, I sewed up the bodice, which is here, and I absolutely love it. It's definitely fits, it's fine. It's probably a little tighter. It doesn't look tight, but I guess I'm so used to wearing knits that anytime I feel like the fabric, it feels tight. But I don't believe it's tight. And I don't believe anyone would look at it and say, oh, that's tight. But to me, and it's probably, like I said, because I'm used to wearing knits, that it feels slightly restrictive. Now, I decided to go with bias binding instead of the facing. And this is a little label from Evelyn Design. But yeah, I absolutely love the fabric. Super lightweight. So I finished the bodice. I am going to probably do the sleeves of the bias binding just to sort of retain as much length as possible. And then I have sewn up the actual skirt piece. And I have made the full length because I had enough fabric. So that will be pretty quick to finish next week when I return on Monday night or some point next week. But yeah, I am really pleased with it. Like I said, I think the key is I'm just not used to wearing knits that are not massively oversized. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Quite an easy pattern. I couldn't believe it. If you're going to do the bias binding and you're not going to put the pockets, you literally have 3 pattern pieces, which is pretty cool. So if I can get this right and feel sort of more comfortable wearing it, I can definitely see myself making quite a few of these. Because with sort of doing more traveling for work, I do prefer dresses because it just means I don't have to think about matching and coordination, which is not my forte. So what is the plan for the week ahead? The plan is absolutely to finish this dress. If I really like it, I'm going to make another one because I leave on the 14th to go to Asia and do all these work trips. I'm definitely going to try to finish the red pajamas, which again will be very quick because they've already been cut out. They've already been pinned. But I did have like blue overlocker thread, so I thought I'd go straight to this. And I'm looking over at my pile and I may make 1 or 2 pairs of pajamas for my son. But I don't usually make plans. So I have like all of the fabrics and the patterns that I had sort of talked about in my last video or my plans video. And so what I like to do is when I finish a project, I just go over, look over there and say, what do I fancy making? So yeah, although I am saying I might make another Lotta, in which case I will have to pick some fabric. But as we know, I probably have something nice that I could select from. I do think that I would want something like this, something drapey, like a viscose or probably a viscose, because I've got quite a few viscoses that I've been kind of hanging on to. And actually, I think this could be a great pattern. So we'll see how it fits when I finish. I may size up in the bodice, at least the top section, to a 9, just to give me a little bit of extra room. But I think everywhere else it'll be absolutely fine because actually my waist and hips are a 7. So I'm not concerned about that at all. I suppose the only other thing I'm concerned about is where this sits. Because maybe I do have sometimes I've had to switch or add sort of an inch in length. But anyways, I will figure that out and possibly make another. So that is it. Quick one for me. Just wanted to pop on, say hello. I will hopefully record some footage in Fez and maybe find a cheeky fabric shop if my family allows. So I say allows, they let me do whatever I want, but there may be some heavy sighs of annoyance. Anyway, so I hope you're well. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.